Hello and welcome to another video. I thought that I would just give a quick update as to where I was and what I was doing with the deck of the boat. So if you recall, in the last video I've put the plastic deck on. Now there are a number of raised parts on the plastic deck which I have sanded back with a little sanding pad. There was a raised part here, raised parts here and here. Now they've been sanded back because a new deck is going to be stuck over the top. So the plastic is okay, but it's not the better quality wooden deck of the Platinum Edition, which is, of course, this one. So I thought I was trying to figure out exactly how I was going to approach this, and then I figured out how I was going to, so I thought I'd do a quick video whilst I think of it. So we've got a few components. So you'll see here, if you buy the kit, you get these thin with the sticky tape on the back of them, which I showed in the last video. You also get instructions that show you which parts, essentially windows, which need to be cut out. So I wasn't sure how I'd do this and how sticky the balsa, or the wood, whatever it's made of, I'm assuming it's balsa, is made out of, how sticky it is. And on top of that, I thought, okay, so I've got something like this. What happens when I peel it off? Because you only really got one shot at this, and if you fuck it up the first time around, then you kind of stuffed. So what I've done is I have taken this and I have started to remove the windows. So you can see here, this is this one. So, case in point, you can see here, window, window. So what I've done is I've just used a scalpel and sort of picked the corners and peeled them off. And here's the collection of them all over here. So you can see. Now as you peel them out, it's quite good because you can see just how sticky they are and you get a bit of an idea about what you're going to be dealing with when you pull the real thing off. So that's quite sticky. Well, for that one I've stuck down to the cutting mat, you see, and it's actually really stuck very, very fast. So that gives good confidence that when I do actually peel it off and stick it to the plastic, it'll be pretty good. So I've done that on this one for a couple of spots, well actually all of the spots, come to think of it, where it shows. So there's a window there, and as you can see here I've poked those out. These are other parts which I haven't got onto those parts, but I'll show you on the next piece what I've done, because on the next piece that I'm about to show you I've actually removed all of the edging parts as well. So the next one that I did was this part here, and I have just done pretty much exactly that. See, if you lay that on the top there, you can see that I've removed all of the windows and also all of the extra bit of wood. So that's not sticky. If you peel that off, that's not sticky, that's just plastic. It's only the back of that that's sticky, so it's very, very neat. So you can see here, you can go across, and I've even poked out the little gaps in this fence-like piece. So you can see here, once I get my focusing right, that all the little in-between bits have been poked out as well. So the advantage now is that before, while all of the extra bits were on, I was a little bit unsure about, is it going to peel away properly? Am I going to leave any behind? Is it going to tear? Well, that's all gone now. So now all I have is only the piece that I'm going to peel off and stick onto the boat itself. The advantage as well of removing everything as much as possible is now I can line this up and see just exactly where she's going to line up. And I can, you know, kind of pre-test fit it like so and go, alright, well that should fit there, that should fit there. So that's quite encouraging. Now another thing that is quite interesting is that some of it doesn't actually line up. So that, you can see the round circle goes on there. I go to the very front and you can see that part fits there perfectly. But look at that. That window there is actually misaligned with the plastic. So what do I do there? Do I try to fill that in with another bit of balsa and then cut further ahead, or do I just run with it as is? Good question. So I'll probably decide that after I stick it down or before, I'm not sure. Now the other thing that I'm wondering about doing is whether I paint this before I stick it on. Because if I stick it on, then when I go to airbrush, I'll need to mask all of this off, which is not the end of the world. I was planning on doing that anyway. But if I don't stick this on and I airbrush this first, probably mask off these ones so they don't get airbrushed. But if I airbrush this first, then when I peel it off and stick it on, it should be nice and neat, with only edge touch-ups being required, which can be done with a paintbrush, in all honesty, because there's going to be lots of weathering going on along on the edge. So I'm really leaning towards painting this before sticking it on. Anyway, that's where I'm up to. I thought I'd show you. Ooh, that's right. And the other thing is the front parts. See here as well. Now the wood doesn't extend that length. As you can see, it only goes to about there. So why did I flatten this part off? Well, that's because in this model we have photo-etched parts that cover the very front and the very back. Now, as you can see, the level of detail here is far greater than the level of detail on the plastic. So you get all of these rivets or bumps or what have you, which are much finer detail than the plastic. So that's towards the front, and this is towards the back. So when they go on, it's going to look pretty nice as well. So the other thing is, do I paint those before I put them on too? Again, 50-50 thoughts on that, and I'm yet to decide. So anyway, I just thought I'd give you a quick update as to where I was at with the deck decision, because particularly if you're building this model, and if you're like me, you're sort of thinking, well, how am I going to go about this? So that's where I'm up to. That's how I've started to go about it, and I thought I would share that latest. So it's coming along well. So until next video, I hope you enjoyed that one, and goodbye.